All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a look real quick in some of the things that really were weird and people missed in his interrogation. Hold on, I'm trying to fix my headphones. All right, hold on a minute. All right, let's see. Hold on, Jack. All right, let's check it out. Key things they missed in the interrogation of Richard Allen that proves uh, that he was on to what was going on. He talks about his illness. Now, through the interrogation, we know now that the police were called to his house because he was threatening to kill himself with a gun. He was going to shoot himself. And this was before they caught him, right? Before they even knew who he was or what the deal was. They were called to his property, supposedly, because he was going to do self harm to himself. Now, let's watch the interrogation. And I still don't think everyone, they're all stuck on it's a Carhartt. It wasn't a Carhartt. He lied, right? He probably lied. What do I think it looks like? A windbreaker. It looks like a windbreaker that he had on over everything. But that's just my opinion. Not unless they edited it. See, folks, that's what we're trying to tell you. The whole things that we've been chasing for many years was fake and created by somebody. So, if Richard Allen is telling the truth, he had a Carhartt on, then it's not Richard Allen because the video we're seeing, it's a windbreaker. Well, let's check out what Richard Allen is saying. I posted in chat, Miss J for Justice. This is where they're interrogating him and they're asking if that's him, right? Let's back up a little bit because he's talking about the girls and the girls' phones. See,
it's time to find your adventure. Hit the open road and journey to endless destinations. It's time for.
He already knows when they're questioning him. He already knows, and he's saying stuff before they even ask it. Right? He comes out and he says, "Well, if that's from the girls' phones, then it's not me. I don't know what to tell you. I can't. No. Well, you were there. You're describing that you have this stuff on and everything. Yeah, but I don't know the girls. I never met them. I don't know them. Right? They're not asking you if they knew him. See, they weren't asking him if they knew him. He was. They were trying to. Is that you? But he knew he was in a hole. He was in a bind. Right? He was running out of time. Whatever. It could be. It could be. It wasn't him. Right? And it was someone else dressed similar to him, which makes sense. It can go 50-50 because witnesses state there was other people there. Let's listen to this.
That you were going to do something to yourself, maybe 3 years or so. And, look, there's a lot here that we need to get clarified, okay? As you well know, we have pictures of an individual that was on the bridge. And to some great degree, you described that individual as wearing, yourself as wearing blue jeans, a jacket that's of the same color as that. He described the hat. It's hard to see the shoes, but they're kind of brown, okay? And this is a picture that was taken with the phone of one of the girls. Okay, I understand that. And the question needs to be, is that you?
If it was taken with the girl's phone, that is absolutely, I mean, it's not me, but I never have met these girls before, so.
See, they're not asking him anything other than you describe the clothes. It looks like this guy. Is this you? And he changes the whole thing up. if it came from the girl's phone. Well, how does he know that came from the girl's phone? Right? The only way he would know it came from the girl's phones if he's been watching the case the whole time. He knows, right? That's the evidence they have, the phone and the evidence on it, right? He knows it, and it might not be him. He's doing the right thing. Did he? My question is, did he handle himself good in interrogation? When Holman was, well, it's you. We're gonna prove it. Yeah, he held himself great, composure and everything. He didn't flip out. He held his composure and anger and temper, and he handled it well. I'm not gonna lie. Even this questioning, and even then, he made up some mistakes. His composure was fine. He handled himself fine. He told him, "Go ahead, do whatever, arrest me, whatever." But there was things he was saying that he was messing up on. And when the police leave the room, you can tell he's like, he throws his hands up. What? Why would I say that? He's going back in his mind, or whatever, the demons that are around him, or whoever was putting things into his mind. I don't know. I've been there before.
Even if I thought it looked like me, if it was taken with the girl's phone, there's no way it could be. I've never met him. I've never seen him.
All right, so that's
And
where
as far, well, and let's just stop there. As far as my psychological well-being,
okay.
When you look at the world, what do you see?
I've been dealing with that for years. It's not something new. It's not something because I went out and killed girls. Now I've got psychological problems. Have I had issues? Did I stick a gun in?
No, right. Now, what is he saying? He's saying exactly what we've been saying. Like I said, folks, he had 7 years or 6 years or whatever to watch the case, right? If it's him. And it's obvious he has been because before they even tell him what's going on, uh, he right away, the first thing out of his mouth is, well, if that photo was taken from the girl's phone, it's definitely not me. I've never met them girls, but he said he's seen 3 girls there. In the other uh, interrogation and other statements, that he did see 3 girls there on the bridge, right? But then he says, well, if that was taken from the girl's phone, it's not me. There was things he was saying, tripping himself up. Now let's get to his psychological mind before they picked him up.
I know how a gun works, and I wasn't going to shoot myself that night. It was probably a cry for help that night. You've obviously talked to my wife, so it is what it is. But I know that you haven't talked to anybody that knows me, has been around me, my family, not my family, that thinks that I may have been involved in this. I wouldn't believe it.
This image, this person right here, he's wearing like a Carhartt jacket, just like you just told us.
Okay.
He's wearing the same clothing that you just told us. We just need to know what happened. Why?
Sure. I said I was wearing blue jeans. Now, I think blue jeans is a pretty common thing that people wear. And I said I was probably wearing a black or a blue coat. It could have been a Carhartt, a zip up with a hoodie in it. I've had black ones. I've had a blue one, or a blue one and a black one. Like, I guess, you're taking what I told you I was wearing and saying that that's me in it.
So
The only problem I have with this is I don't believe it's a Carhartt. For one, Carhartts ain't shiny, right? It's a it's a different kind of material. right? What am I seeing Bridge Guy have? Well, if that video wasn't edited, I'm seeing a windbreaker, a nylon polyester like windbreaker uh, that you put on over it, right, over your jacket or whatever. And some of them have hoodies. That's true. Some of them don't. Some of them just have a collar. That's it, like a collar on a suit jacket or a police uniform. And then people put their hoodies. They put their hoodies on, and then the windbreaker over the hoodie. So you're only seeing the hoodie, but the outside you can see the windbreaker, right?
The other kind of,
And you're serious, you literally want me to, like, you want me to say that that's my car?
we looked at, well, no, it matches everything. That is your car.
Okay, well, I'm saying in that picture, it's like, okay,
Yeah, no, there's zero doubt.
Okay.
That's you.
I don't even, okay, that's
We're
fine.
just showing you what we have and why we need to eliminate it. That's
Well, sure.
the point.
Now, this was another thing people missed. That is his car. And how do they know that? Because, for one, there was only so many of them cars in this area that were sold to them car dealers out there. It's a hatchback, right? It's a Ford Focus hatchback, like a station wagon, right? You got room in it and stuff, like a PT Cruiser, how the back lifts up, which is rare. They only made so many of them, and not very many people around here have them. There was vehicles in that town. There was a couple other vehicles in that town that were hatchbacks. But what I believe the police did was they tracked down that vehicle and they talked to everyone that owned one of them vehicles. And it just so happens that them vehicles probably were accounted for or a different color. And there might have only been one or two same color cars in town, probably. I don't even see them driving around here, them Ford Focus hatchbacks. Um, I'm not sure if they were a special order or they only made so many of them, and that was it. And they probably went through all the vehicles that were similar or that make, that model of car, and eventually they stumbled upon, oh, well, here's Richard Allen's file, right? He's a witness. He said he's seen something. And they went through his stuff, and oh, well, he's got one of these cars, right? That he bought in 2016 before the murders. And oh, it's the same color. Oh, so, and that's probably how they did that. Uh, a lot of people saying, "Oh, that don't look like his car at all," and it's his car. It's his shape of the vehicle. It's a hatchback.
Sure. All right, well, we're all done here.
Here's what
Unless you want to arrest me. That's
Here's
fine.
what I want to say to you at this point. Look, we have a lot of information here that we need clarification.
Sure.
And that's exactly why we're talking to you at this time.
Well, and that's
And
fine.
so what we want to do is to be able to take a look at your cell phone, take a look at all the data, help us out. Yeah, it'll be great. Or, conversely, in this situation, we've already talked to your employer, and we already know that and we haven't told them what we know about this. We haven't said anything about that, but they say you're a nice guy. And I believe you're a nice guy.
Oh, okay.
Look, I have no reason.
I mean,
Let me paint a picture for you. We went to your house.
you got a job to do. And I get
We went to your house.
You sit down here,
We went to your house this
we're
morning.
having a conversation and.
We went to your house this morning, and what we did was knock on the door. You let us inside. We had a nice conversation, and that's great. That's really positive. You came here to the the center and drove down. You rode in the car with us.
Yeah.
And we had a chance to sit down and talk, and not a fella who is, I think, a mean fella. You know, you're not the kind of guy that would go out and do something.
Hey, video creator, we know you. For you, it's about more than getting the job done. You'll keep going until
Malicious to somebody. So a lot of what we're trying to get figured out here today, right now, is exactly what's going on here. Why is this information showing us one thing, but then you're telling us another?
What is it showing you? What this information? I'm going to say that is, just say that is my car. I told you I could have been driving that car.
Yeah, that's right.
I don't know what it is but this seems to have taken a turn, you know. You're sitting here and you're talking to me and you're asking me things, and I get that.
Most people,
But now it's turning into,
most people have wanted to be eliminated from this.
well, sure.
That's what,
I don't want to be included.
All right, what am I seeing now? Well, I think he feels endangered right now. He crossed his arms. This is probably another thing where he thinks, uh-oh, something's wrong. Much like the pool hall, the bar, that footage where he couldn't take his eyes off of the camera. That's probably was one of his defenses or whatever, right? And what are we seeing now? Well, we're seeing him take defensive protection maneuvers or whatever, right? He's getting angry. He's crossing his arms, feeling uncomfortable, right? Because he says that, you know, it's all of a sudden now it's taking a turn.
Included to begin with. So until the point that you have something that tells you that I did this and you want to subpoena or arrest me or something, I've got nothing to worry about. So I'm not real concerned here, but your attitudes towards me have definitely changed, and I don't like the fact that, you know, it feels more like I'm being interrogated, and so then you're going to tell me that you've already talked to my wife and my daughter and stuff. Like, how straightforward is that? You know?
Well, what would you, okay, let's turn everything around. Tell me what you would do differently if you were in our situation. You had this information. How would you react? What would you do? You do the same thing that we were doing right now.
What information is it that you have? You have that I was out there, and I told you from the very beginning that I was out there.
Yes, you did.
I didn't hide it. Did you see this guy? I didn't know.
okay.
I told you, I see the only person that I clearly remember seeing that, and this isn't from the day, I mean, this is the next day. The only people or person that came into my mind were those three girls that I seen.
Richard, we're not upset with you, not mad at you, anything like
All right, there you go. I don't understand it. He's chewing his cabbage twice. He's saying, I've never met them girls. I didn't see them girls. I didn't. And then he comes back and says, the only thing I can, right? I told you everything, right? I told you I seen three girls out there. Well, that's what they asked you 10 minutes ago, right? But you said, well, I don't know if that's from them girls' phones. I don't know them. I never. And then he's back to, well, he told, you know, I told you guys everything. I seen three girls out there. Well, what happened to the third girl? We got two of them accounted for. They're dead. Where's the third one?
that. We're just trying to get to the bottom of this, okay? No, I'm not, you know, I'm not here to give you a hard time. I'm just here to try to get the situation straightened out. Mm-hmm. And what we want to do is simply get to the truth. What would help us get to the truth is being able to look inside of some of the things you're talking about, okay?
And I get that.
Okay. And maybe
on the other side of things,
here.
Sure. And on the other side of things, if I thought I had something that was going to help you, that would, you know, what do I have that's going to help you?
Okay. Well, I have some questions we can go through here, if you don't mind. And I
think we're done.
We have some other questions here that we could go through here. And what I could do,
Want to hear questions? What does that hurt?
Some of the questions that we can ask you are simply this, and I don't want you to feel like these questions always sound strange, and it'd be very, even accusing in nature, but I want you to understand I'm not trying to offend you. But they help us out. They help us out by getting to a little bit farther along in this matter.
So, I don't know. Like I said, you went, you talked to my daughter and my wife.
What do you want?
I can tell you that if that picture was, I mean, you
Want to hear the questions? What does that hurt?
Some of the questions that we can ask you are simply this, and I don't want you to feel like these questions always sound strange, and it'd be very, even accusing in nature, but I want you to understand I'm not trying to offend you. But they help us out. They help us out by getting to a little bit farther along in this matter.
So, I don't know. Like I said, you went, you talked to my daughter and my wife.
What do you want?
I can't tell you what happened. I can tell you that if that picture was, I mean, you can sit and take anybody and say, well, if they were wearing this and wearing that, that could be them. If that picture was taken from one of the
Now, my one other question is, as Richard Allen starts going in to say, you talk to my wife, you talk to my daughter, he starts going into saying other stuff. In the film, the tape goes black. Now, whether that was edited, I'm not sure. I don't know. Was he saying something that was important? Maybe some people are saying, why is in certain spots this coming up like it's just a black screen, like there's something missing from the film, from the reel or the recording. And then it comes back in saying, well, I don't know what to tell you, right? Because let's just rewind that and see, because this is a key point. What they come back in and he's describing something.
I can't tell you what happened.
He can't tell us.
I can tell you that if that picture was, I mean, you can sit and take anybody and say, well, if they were wearing this and wearing that, that could be them. If that picture was taken from one of the girls' phones,
Here's the
it's not
problem
me
with that.
because I've never met them.
No, but listen, here's the problem with that. You know why you can put a lot of people and say they're wearing blue jeans and a blue coat, but you know what the difference is? No, you said you were there.
Well, sure I
We
did.
have people that saw you.
Okay.
Ricky said you were out on the bridge yourself.
There aren't that many people that saw me. I mean, I'm sure I didn't miss that many people. If they walked behind me, I guess.
You said that you were out on the bridge, this bridge, yourself that day around the time when this happened.
No, I didn't.
You said you walked out onto the bridge. When we talked to you earlier, you said that you walked out to about the first platform or in that area down the bridge. That's what you told us. So we know that you were on the bridge.
Of course I was.
Okay?
And I told you that.
And with that, you know, we can say that, is this person?
There was another slip up. In the other interrogation, he said he was on the bridge. He walked out to the first platform to watch the fish. Now they're asking him that again, and he says, we know you were on the bridge because you told us that. And what did he looks at the guy, no, I didn't. And the guy's like, yes, you did. Remember, you said you came onto the bridge. You were on the first platform. Oh yeah. Well, see, that's
Person you? That's the question. Is that person you? That's the question we have to answer.
Sure.
Okay? So if that person is you, we know this person followed the girls all the way to the other side of the bridge and then told them to go down the hill.
Follow. I don't even know what you're talking about. Like you're saying, dope.
Okay, so the bridge here, okay, this is the girls walking towards the other side of the bridge from where the trailhead is at.
The other side.
The other side of the bridge. And This person followed them all the way to the other side of the bridge where the,
Yeah. So let's just,
and told them to go down the hill.
okay, so let me stop here. I don't appreciate you trying to talk me into this.
No.
This is what I said. You're trying to change my words around. I told you I was on the bridge. Now you just told me this is the trailhead side of the bridge.
Over here on this
And
side.
you're saying I told you I walked on the bridge.
You said you walked on that bridge that day.
And that first trestle is somewhere,
Back there. Okay.
it's somewhere over there.
Help me understand. Okay. You came out this far. We know that
I did.
You
I
came
didn't
out
go out that far.
You came out that far. Is what you told us.
I'm not going to tell you how. I can't tell by that how far out I was.
Okay.
I'm just telling you. You're saying that's me, and you're saying this is the far side of the bridge. I don't even go out that far anymore. I haven't for years.
Mm-hmm. Okay, for years. But back then, that was in 2017.
When I started to use
All right, here was another mess up that Richard did. Right? He said, they say, hey, you come out onto the bridge. You told us that. He says, no, I didn't. They said, yes, you did. He remembers, oh, yeah. But then he says, I didn't come out that far onto the bridge. Yada, 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 yada. Right? And then he says, I haven't gone across that bridge in years. Well, that's right, years. But see, this happened 8 years ago. And probably 8 years ago, you did cross the bridge all the time, right? And that's what they're probably getting at, right? Yeah, you're right, years ago. But this happened 8 years ago, not a couple years ago. So a couple years now, you haven't crossed the bridge or gone that far in years. So, yeah.
So you're telling me you came out that far is what you told us.
I'm not going to tell you how. I can't tell by that how far out I was.
Okay.
I'm just telling you. You're saying that's me, and you're saying this is the far side of the bridge. I don't even go out that far anymore. I haven't for years.
Mm-hmm. Okay, for years. But back then, that was in 2017. Okay. And the question is this you?
No.
Okay. So you're telling me that this person was out there on the bridge and wore the same clothing that you had on that day, but you didn't see them.
You can't tell that's a black Carhartt coat, a blue Carhartt coat, a pullover. I told you I could have been wearing this.
The two kinds of clothing you said you wore that day was either a black Carhartt coat or a blue Carhartt coat. Okay, you said you had blue jeans, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I've had jackets.
Okay, so put yourself in my chair.
I guess what I'm saying is I'm not going to tell you I wasn't wearing a black Carhartt that day. I told you I could have been. I don't know if that's a black Carhartt. And if it is, it's not mine, it's his.
And you said you have a hat you normally wear, a skull cap that's covered.
I said I carry one. So if I was wearing one, it would be like a skull cap or a smaller type of hat or something.
Okay. So this is the situation we're at, okay? Basically this. Either you were out there to do this to the girls, or you were out there to be able to introduce the girls to somebody else.
Okay.
All right, another thing. Now, it's possible he did have something on Carhartt, which would have been the hat, right? Whether it was a baseball hat or one of them stocking hats were in the winter, which I do believe they make them stocking winter hats. And on the front of it is a Carhartt patch, a square Carhartt patch. And a lot of people were like, well, it's a camera. It's a camera. If he was wearing a Carhartt hat and it had that square patch on it, then they were mistaking that for a camera. And I wouldn't doubt it. Richard Allen worked at Walmart. And I would imagine that's where he got most of his clothes because he got a discount. So he probably had Walmart clothes, which is very common. And they also sell windbreakers at Walmart. So, but that might be what he's talking about. He had a Carhartt stocking hat for the winter that he carried with him. And that might be what it is. And what they thought was a camera was the Carhartt patch. The jacket, I don't believe, is a Carhartt. Maybe the one underneath the blue. I believe it's a windbreaker.
Good luck finding anything that points in that direction. I mean, it's not me. You're not going to make me believe it's me. You're not going to find anything that ties me to those murders. So I'm not really that concerned. You know, you went from trying to, I don't know what you want to say, get my trust and then slowly lure me into telling you I killed somebody and I'm not going to do it. You know, I don't know where this changed course.
I'm not trying to give you a hard time, really not. I just want you to put yourself in the situation where we as police officers are looking at all the evidence that we have and what you've told us right now, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, not trying to give you a hard time, just want to make sure that we get everything taken care of here. That's why we wanted to look at the things that we wanted to look at.
And that's not going to happen now. I mean, like I said, we're done here. So arrest me or take me home.
I understand. So
arrest me or take me home. I'm done.
This
is stupid.
See, I don't like how the tape, what happens? Where's the rest of it?
A gentle formula, a happy tummy. A happy tummy is a happy family. Learn more.
These commercials will drive you completely crazy.
Okay. So that day, on that day, you went out there on the bridge, and that you were wearing the same clothing that basically the same clothing that this person here is wearing.
That's what you think. I don't know how you can tell that that's a black Carhartt coat, which is what I told you, a black or blue Carhartt coat. Never mind. This is ridiculous. You're trying to tell me that I gave you a description of this guy and I didn't. I mean, we all looked at this thing for months and years, and to me that doesn't even look like a Carhartt coat.
But you can't say it's not, can you? I mean, neither one of us can.
Okay. You're right.
Can't say it's not. I mean, we can't say that it's not a Carhartt coat. We can't say that hat isn't similar to the one that you have had at one point. So, okay. With all those things in view,
you've lost my trust. I'm not going to talk to you anymore. This is stupid. Now you pissed me off.
Well, I'm sorry about that.
Okay. Are you arresting me?
Well, I really want to try to get this thing worked out. Okay. I want to try to get this thing worked out.
Am I free to leave or not?
You've always been free to leave.
Thank you. You're an asshole.
Hey, one thing we could do. He's wearing the same clothes.
Time is running out. Snap your W-2.
No, All right, you can hear in that after he leaves. They're saying that's how they got some more DNA was the water bottle that he left behind. All right, so he made a couple mistakes in that video. Now, there's another interrogation video where he kind of messes up. Uh, he comes out. He's always looking at the camera, right? I think the second time they brought him in without or with his wife, he also released some more damaging stuff, right? Like if that bullet, if you found that bullet, there's no way, it's impossible that you found that bullet at that crime scene. They must have got it from somewhere else. That was, to me, kind of incriminating, right? Because he insists there's no way they got that bullet from that crime scene. They must have got it from somewhere else. Maybe they did get it. Maybe they did get it when the police were called to his house when he was going to harm himself with his weapon. It's possible maybe they discharged one of the to see if it was uh, loaded or whatever. And in a situation like that, when they're called, they might ask for the gun, and then if the gun's loaded or has one in the chamber, they rack it to kick out so there ain't one in the chamber. Maybe they got that bullet that away, right? Maybe that's what he's talking. But we don't know. They were called a couple times. We know of one. We didn't hear about Richard Allen's suicide thing or whatever they call it, to off himself. I know they say don't say that on YouTube, but good God, we're adults. But there was one other time the police were called to his house, and that was when the neighbors said they were missing something and they believed Richard stole it. And the police went in his backyard and looked. Now, I don't know if that's true, but we didn't hear about Richard and the police showing up to Richard's, and this was after the murders, which he brought that up in his interrogation. If you guys think I was going to kill myself because I'm a killer and I did this to the girls, you're crazy, right? I had problems, and it was a cry for help. They didn't even ask him that, right? They didn't even say anything about that. They were asking him simple questions. Is that you? You described the clothes. It looks like this guy in the photo. You said you were on the bridge. You went onto the first platform. Oh, no, I didn't. Yes, you did. In the other interrogation, you told us you went out on the bridge, onto the platform to watch the fish. So you were on the bridge, right? They're asking them questions. And then well, if that photo was taken from the girl's phones, then it definitely wasn't me. I didn't see any girls out there. But in the other, he said he's seen 3 girls on the bridge. Now, once again, do I think Richard Allen's guilty? I don't know. The case is so crazy. So many people involved, so many suspects, so many Boy Scouts. Was he bridge guy? Or was he voice guy? I don't know. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if there's anything else. No, it's a little overcast today, a little bit chilly, a little cloudy out.
Size 7.5 mins. and then on down. So we took the clothing that you had mentioned that you possibly could have taken on the bridge.
Okay.
And then we also took some knives.
Okay.
We took your car, and then we also took some weapon, a SIG 40, right?
Okay.
Right there. I used to be a Beretta guy. I was in the Marine Corps.
Yeah.
Stopped the Berettas. And then when I first got on the state police, we had Berettas as well. And then we went to Glocks for a little bit.
Sure.
And then we went to SIGs.
I was trying to think what we even had. I think the Berettas were probably coming out before I got out. Because they used to have the old 45s.
Beretta?
No, they were
Springfield.
I have no idea, honestly. They were the one government issued 45s. Yeah.
Yeah, we had I think there were 40 Berettas. And I think when I came on in 2001 in the state police, we had Berettas, but we went to Glocks, not a huge fan of Glocks, but SIGs.
Mm-hmm.
If I could build an indoor range and afford the ammo, I'd shoot that thing every day.
Yeah.
You shoot yours?
I've not had a lot of experience, no.
No?
I mean, target practice here and there. It's probably been, I don't even remember. I haven't shot them in a long time, I know that.
Do they have like an indoor range in Delphi?
No, not that I know of. Honestly, I don't even know where. I haven't looked. There used to be one in Kokomo. That's the only thing I know.
Where you live?
That's where I.
Yeah, and you live in town, so you can't go out your back door and shoot it.
No, I probably could. It probably wouldn't be a good idea, but.
I live out in the country, so I know my closest neighbor's like 2 miles away, so I shoot mine out there. I got like a ditch. I don't have an indoor range, but I have like a ditch I can shoot and stuff like that. So, like I said, these are the items that we took. These are the items that we're testing. Some tests take longer than others, as you know. So the lab wants me to ask a few questions just about to help us with the testing, and you'll understand when I ask you.
Okay.
So, for example, they took a lot of swabs. They're taking swabs off of everything.
Okay.
So what they want to know is, have you ever loaned anything out that we've taken? And again, I just told you what we took. I realized that, but mostly some of the major items that, have you ever loaned them out for a significant time? Because if, for example, my buddy's fuel pump went out in his truck, he said, "Hey, can I borrow your old truck?" And I said, "Yeah." He said it's going to be 2 weeks, ended up being 5 or 6 months. That would be a significant time frame. That my buddy's DNA would be in that truck.
Okay.
Is there anything that you've loaned out for besides your family members? We don't care about your wife's
Not
DNA.
that I can think of.
You never loaned a truck out, or your sorry, it's a Ford Focus. Is that what it is?
I mean, if I do, I certainly don't remember. Most of my family has vehicles, so extra vehicles.
Yeah.
So.
The same thing like my son. He sometimes will come over and leave his coat. And
All right, excuse me. All right, in this interrogation, this was an opportunity for Richard. If he was the killer, he was guilty, that was the opportunity for him to say, "Oh yeah, I did borrow my truck to these people. Or I did borrow that weapon." Right? This was his opportunity. Holman's asking him, did you borrow that weapon to anybody? Would your family, we don't care about family, they're at the house, did you borrow the vehicle? Your family's DNA would be in the vehicle. Did you borrow anything? Any of this stuff we took from your house, your boots, your gun, your knives, your vehicle, did you borrow that to anybody in 2017? He says, "No, I can't think of nobody." Well, that was his opportunity to get him some time.
I'll wear it for a couple months or something like that.
Okay.
Or my son-in-law, he'll spend money on guns. He's a gun freak. He likes to buy guns, and then he'll be like, "Hey, can I borrow $500?" And then he'll give me one of his guns as collateral. And then when he gets the money back, anything like that you know of? Okay. So I'll let the lab know that. That's one of the big things. And then, like I said, some of the tests are already back.
Mhm.
I do want to talk to you about one of the tests
Mhm.
that we got the results back. Oh, the other thing is, any of these knives or the gun, did you have that the day that you recall having that with you on the day of the 13th when you were out there on the bridge?
Mm-mm. No.
You don't remember if you did or you didn't?
I didn't. I just went out for a short walk that day.
Okay. Okay. Well, we'll get to the meat and potatoes of this, Rick. I appreciate you being cooperative with me. I want to talk about the results of your handgun. Okay.
Okay.
So, handguns, as you know, probably, you may know more about them than I do. I don't know a lot, but they're very specific as far as the characteristics of the gun. So, the firing pin is different from your firing pin. The extraction device is different from my extraction device. And they're basically what the lab has told me is that they're like fingerprints.
Mhm.
They're specific to that gun and that gun only.
Okay.
Okay. So we took your gun, your
Mhm.
40 cal SIG, and we sent it down there to the lab to have it match with an item that we located on February the 14th when we found the girls.
Okay.
And that item was a 40 caliber Winchester round. We found that at the scene.
Okay.
The extraction marks on that round
Mm-hmm.
match your gun.
Perfect.
So
This is okay.
just hear me out. I'm just trying.
I am.
So this is the round. Okay. Those are the extraction marks. That's the best picture of them. There's actually 3 of them. That's the same round that we found. Okay. And like I said, the methodology that they use is scientific, and they were telling me, and this is the report, you can read it if you wish.
I don't need to read it.
Okay. Well, I'm just trying to help you. You know, let me tell you something.
Okay.
You know, the prosecutor and the other investigators, they want to see you lock you up, throw away the key. I don't
This
think
is
you're.
ridiculous.
Just listen to me for
Okay.
2 minutes. Let me explain this to you. I'm on your side. I talked to you a little bit out there on the scene. I know you mentioned a couple times you don't want to be the fall guy for this. You also mentioned to me the other day when I was telling you, hey, I want to check the property out, make sure there's no damage. And you said, doesn't matter, it's over. You know, you made comments like that to me that really concerned me.
Sure.
Right. It's concerning.
And what I mean by it's over is that you've already started something here that there's no backing out of. So you've done, the damage is done, I guess is what I'm saying. That's what I would have been referring to.
Okay, and I agree with that. We have started this.
Good morning,
for a long
little
time. And all the
Debbie.
evidence is clearly indicating you're involved in this. And listen to me, Rick. I don't believe you should be the fall guy. But all the evidence, you say you're out there. We have witnesses out there. We have your vehicle. We have experts. We have experts that say that's you on the video and that's your voice on the video.
Okay.
Experts, not me. I'm not an expert.
I got you.
Okay. And now we have your round at the scene.
Okay.
Not on the bridge. You said you're on the bridge.
I don't even know how my bullet would have gotten out there if that's my bullet.
It's without a doubt that this is very
Okay.
scientific. So let me show you a picture of this round where it was found. That's the round right there. It hadn't been out there very long. That is Liberty's foot. It's within 6 inches of one of the dead girls' bodies.
There's no way.
And this is where it gets interesting. All right, now 6 inches away from her foot was a bullet, not 6 feet into the ground, 2 inches, 3 inches, like everyone was saying. It was buried in the ground. They didn't find it until 2 weeks later. All this crap. Well, there it is. 6 inches away from her foot, right on top of the ground. Now, how do you miss that? I don't know. Panic. Maybe he got panicked. He accomplished what he wanted to, right? If it's Richard Allen. And why do I say that? Is because one of the girls was naked. So something happened, right? And now he's saying it's impossible. And this is where it gets interesting, because this is where it comes in where he says, you didn't get my bullet at that crime scene. You must have got it from somewhere else. It must have came from somewhere else. That's interesting. Now, once again, Richard Allen could be set up. It's very possible. Very possible. But it's not looking like that.
Hey,
There is.
I'm telling you, there's not.
How did that round get there, Rick?
I don't know how the round got there. What I'm telling you is, if that is truly what you're saying it is, it's not my round.
The scientific experts are saying, I got a report saying that round came from your gun.
Okay, but understand this.
You were on the bridge.
I told you I was on the bridge.
Listen, right now, like I said, I got a prosecutor and investigators ready to lock
Okay.
you up. And if you don't give us a narrative, if you don't tell us your side of the story, there's two sides to every story. Hang on.
Okay.
I'm trying to help you.
I get that.
The media is going to portray you as this
I know.
monster, and you don't want your wife.
And it's already going to get.
All right, we got Holman saying, I'm on your side, playing the good cop, right? These people want to lock you up, throw away the key and everything. How'd the bullet get there? Well, you better start thinking quick, Rick. And what I would have said is, well, I don't know, maybe you got it from when I was going to off myself and you guys came into my house. Maybe that's where you got the bullet, right? That was years ago or whatever. Maybe it was when you guys came on my property because someone said I was stealing or digging something or in the backyard or whatever. Numerous things, right? But he ain't remembering any of this stuff. That's interesting.
Get there anyway, so.
Yeah. So this is your chance to tell us exactly what happened.
Unlike some people, most people, I care what people think about me, and
then you do.
You've already set that ball rolling.
Yeah, but there's only one way to get out in front of it, and that's to tell the truth. What happened that day?
I can't tell you what happened that day.
You can tell us. There's no doubt in my mind that the evidence clearly indicates that you're involved in this. Are you the mastermind behind this? I don't know.
Mastermind, okay.
Did somebody else set this?
And here we go, mastermind. Which leads me to believe that police were on the right thing and thinking there was money involved. And a lot of them, and I have a feeling that the police knew there was more involved in this big thing. They might not have been there, done the killing, but they knew that there was a group of sickos in that area. Now, whether Richard Allen took that opportunity because he was watching social media or even maybe a Anthony Shots account or whatever, and took that opportunity and thought maybe someone else would get the blame for it. Yeah, well, I'm not sure. But he can't explain how that bullet got there. Well, if the same things that happened to Richard Allen happened to me, and they said, well, here's your bullet, it's here, how did it get there? Well, I'll tell you how it could have got there. You scum-sucking corrupt police might have took it when you came to my house when I was going to off myself. But I wasn't going to off myself because I'm a killer and I killed the two girls. I had problems, right? A cry for help. I don't know.
This up? I don't know, Rick. I want to know. And only you know. The truth will set you free. That's it.
Yeah.
The truth will protect you from the
Well,
media.
that's what I would have thought.
Well, tell the truth. Tell me how this round got next to one of our girls, in between both girls.
I don't know.
You do know. And if you don't tell me, you're going down for this.
Well, okay.
I'm serious. This isn't a joking matter.
I'm not joking.
You're this
Do you
close.
realize what you've done to me? This is like you've talked to the people I work with. You've talked to my neighbors. I've got anxiety. I got all kinds of stress and depression. And one of the big things is you can not even think something about me. But if I think you think something about me, it bothers me. And
that's normal.
Already done.
We don't
because people out there already know that you think I did something.
I don't think
That's normal. We all want people to think good about us. That's perfectly normal. There's a lot, we live in a world now where these people, I don't give a crap what these people think about me. I don't, and that's okay. But there are people that do care, right? That's normal, Mr. Allen, for you to think that, right? We all think that way, really, because we want to be good people. We strive to be good people. We want others to think we're good people, and we want to be good people. So that's perfectly normal.
And I didn't. Okay.
Rick, I don't think that. The evidence clearly indicates you're involved.
Right.
So if you were in my seat and I had you saying you're out there, witnesses saying you're out there at the same time with the girls, and now after a search warrant of your house, we find a gun, your gun. You own that gun, right?
I do.
When did you buy it?
Oh my gosh. I don't even remember. I mean,
2001. I'll
okay.
check for you. I know a lot of the answers to the question I'm going to ask you, but I'm just trying to give you the opportunity to be honest. Okay. That's why I asked the question. So you bought it in 2001 in Peru.
Okay.
And I asked you if you ever loaned anything out. I gave you scenarios. No. So that's your gun. Either you had that gun or somebody had that gun. Because there's no way that round gets on that property where these two girls were killed without that gun being there. And you're there, your car's there, witnesses say
there is no way a round from my gun was anywhere near the girls, the bridge. It just didn't happen.
And listen, we're trying to help you. We're trying to help you prove.
No, you're trying to accuse me of murdering two of.
Oh, you got Clover. Yep. With Clover, the world's smartest point of sale system. Create your
Commercials. It's like watching TV back in the day when we were kids. I don't like how the tape goes black.
I'm saying that's me in that picture. And it's
without that gun being there. And you're there, your car's there, witnesses say
there is no way a round from my gun was anywhere near the girls, the bridge. It just didn't happen.
And listen, we're trying to help you. We're trying to help you prove.
No, you're trying to accuse me of murdering two of.
And here it goes.
Calm me down. You ask me a few questions. You ask me what I'm wearing, and I tell you what I think I was probably wearing that day, and then you try to say that I'm saying that's me in that picture. And it's not.
You don't have to say that.
I'm done.
Well, I have a warrant for your DNA. For your DNA first. What do you think I have a warrant for? You know I have a warrant. What?
I figure you're going to arrest me. You obviously think I've done it. The damage is done. Go ahead and do what you're going to do.
Well,
this doesn't just go away.
I know.
Exactly.
The only person I think can explain all this is you, and you're not explaining it to me.
I don't know what it is you want me to explain.
What were you doing on the bridge? How did your round get there? And why did you kill these two girls? Or why were you involved in this? What was your involvement?
I had no involvement.
I don't think, listen, Rick, I don't think you're the one that killed them. I don't think you're the one that stuck the knife in them. Are you? Are you that guy?
Really?
Are you?
No. Anybody that knows me knows I could never, even if I wanted to do something like that. That's not who I am.
Then what happened?
I can't tell you. How do you expect me to tell you? You want me to make up a story and
No, the truth. The truth is simple. You don't have to make that up. You just go back and tell me the truth. You can't tell me that this event has not been weighing on you for years and years and years. You were out there.
I've told you that. I don't know what you want me to do at this point. I did not murder two little.
And then it goes
I've been
black.
so nice.
Oh, let's see.
I've been so nice to you.
Oh, yeah, you're being nice. You're trying to get me to confess to something I had nothing to do with.
I'm trying to get you to tell the truth. I'm not trying to trick you. I've drawn out what we have. Most of it.
You assume it's the truth, and it's not.
It has to be the truth. The scientists don't lie. The science doesn't lie.
That's awesome.
It's saying that round came from your gun.
I don't understand all that. All I'm telling you is there's a way that a round from my gun, the one that you took from my house, ended up next to a murder scene or anywhere else. I don't know where you got that bullet. If it came out of my gun.
Right there. That's the
Then
round.
it didn't come out of my gun.
That round was
Then
collected.
it didn't come out of my gun.
Rick, that round was collected on the 14th of February, 2017.
Okay.
It's been in evidence ever since.
Okay.
All right, now Rick is saying there's no way that bullet came from his gun. It wasn't there. He don't know where that bullet came from, right? But if you go back and you look, right, when the police did go to his house. Someone called the police saying he was trying to off himself. He was having a cry out for help or whatever. It very well might be they did find a bullet, maybe. Who knows? That would be my only explanation to try and help him. Well, how did the bullet get there? Right? Well, I don't know. The police were at his house a couple of times. Maybe, who knows? Anything's possible. But him telling, once his wife comes in, him telling her that there's no way that bullet came from that crime scene. It must have came from somewhere else. Well, that's another thing. That's another thing, right? So what do they got? Well, it's looking like they got a lot. And that explains why they swabbed him right away. Right? We'll watch here. The guy will come in and swab him and everything. Yeah. Now, the clothes, too. Everyone's saying, oh, it's a Carhartt. It's not a Carhartt. It's a common jacket that's sold at Walmart. Richard Allen used to work at Walmart. I bet you if you do the research on it, he bought most of his clothes from Walmart. Why? Because he got a great discount working at Walmart. So even the hats, the fake Carhartt hats, stocking, brown ones, them are sold at Walmart. Just about his whole ensemble is probably Walmart. Even that T-shirt you're looking at, I seen at Walmart.
All right, and we've compared other weapons to that.
I understand what you're saying, but I can't explain it. I'm just telling you that if that was next to a murder site or anywhere near it, it didn't come out of my gun. And I don't know where you would have got one that did come out of my gun.
Right there. It was there. It was found.
Okay.
And I don't think you realize the severity of this. You realize the death penalty is on the table for this?
You know what? I don't really care about living at this point. I've dealt with not wanting to live for 7-8 years now. It's been a long fucking battle. And with what you guys have done to me, kill me. I don't give a fuck. You'll make my wife rich. So
is that what she wants? Is that what your daughter wants?
He's being possessed by somebody. I would get a hold of some people because I'm hearing also, I think these other YouTube creators are right. It's demonic. It's Richard, but it might not be that Richard that actually did it. I don't know. It's getting crazy. I don't know. Like I said, we had 7 voice guys on this channel and 7 people that were similar. There was even reports up here of people seeing people that were similar in that. So, yeah. And then you had the Kokomo crew and all these guys and everything. So, yeah, I'd probably say it's probably it's from what a lot of people are saying that it's come 360. What was brought up in the beginning of this case with the drugs, the pedo stuff, the war that was going on down there, Odin, everything is probably true. There's probably some truth in a little bit of everything. And it's just a mess. And yeah, it could be some kind of a thing. I don't know. He's made a lot of mistakes, right? And you'll see when he brings his wife in.
The most important thing probably is that the support of Patriot is just top notch. 5 stars is an understatement. You talk to someone quick.
To tell me that, I know. They really think.
And pay close attention to what's going on here. Kel's sending him a card.
Yeah. It's all right, babe. It's gonna be all right. They're trying to tell me that you actually believe that I did it. And I just can't believe that.
Trying to figure out why there's a bullet out there.
I know. You think I'm not? And that's what I told them. I can't explain something I don't understand. I tried to explain to them that there's no way that a bullet from my gun was at a murder scene because it didn't happen. I didn't even have my gun that day I went out. You know me. You know this isn't something I could do. And I know that you know that. You don't have to tell me that, I know. They really think I did this. And they want me to believe that I know you know I didn't do this. I guess that's what I'm saying. I don't know what they're trying to do here, but I'm not going to say something that's not true, and I can't explain something that I don't understand. The only way for me to explain it is that I don't know, because I'm saying it's not possible. There's no way that a bullet from my gun ended up at a murder scene. I didn't murder anybody. I didn't help somebody murder anybody. You know, I'm not going to sit here and try to convince you. I know you know me. I know you know that I didn't do this, had anything to do with it. I talked about scheming or something.
Yeah, I don't.
He ain't saying too much.
How did a bullet from your gun get out there?
I don't know.
Because they said it came from our gun.
I know that's what they believe me. That's what they're telling me.
But how did it get there?
I don't know.
They said there was one in your box above your dresser that matched it.
They showed me that picture too. I can't explain it.
They had a box ammo in his.
They keep asking me, and I don't know how to answer that.
You answer. For me to know. I understand. Me either.
Oh.
And that's what I'm trying to tell them. You want to keep asking me, and I just keep telling you I can't explain it. I don't know how to explain something that isn't possible. But I know, this is what I do know. I know that no bullet from my gun was connected with a murder in any way, shape, or form. And there's no way a bullet from my gun would have been near Abby and Libby's murder or or anything else because I never even seen those girls. Period. And I didn't even have my gun that day. So
But he said he did.
that's what I'm trying to say. I don't know how to make that any clearer. I don't know how to make that any clearer. I don't know how to make somebody understand. I get what he's saying. I don't have a way to explain it.
And they're like, there's a witness that said it was you out there.
Dear, I don't know
And I'm
what.
like, how did they know?
And I didn't even have my gun that day. So that's what I'm trying to say. I don't know how to make that any clearer. I don't know how to make that any clearer. I don't know how to make somebody understand. I get what he's saying. I don't have a way to explain it.
And they're like, there's a witness that said it was you out there.
Dear, I don't know
And I'm
what.
like, how did they?
Bingo. There was a witness because she just said there was one witness that said they seen you out there that day. So they must have showed her the photo and she said that's the guy. And that was withheld maybe that we didn't know about along with the others that were out there that were witnesses supposedly. So she's saying that they have a witness that says it was him out there.
They know it was you.
My God, these commercials.
And I'm like, of course you were out there.
I know that no bullet from my gun was connected with a murder in any way, shape, or form. And there's no way a bullet from my gun would have been near Abby and Libby's murder or anything else because I never even seen those girls. Period. And I didn't even have my gun that day. So that's what I'm trying to say. I don't know how to make that any clearer. I don't know how to make that any clearer. I don't know how to make somebody understand. I get what he's saying. I don't have a way to explain it.
And they're like, there's a witness that said it was you out there.
Dear, I don't know
And
what.
I'm like, how did they know it was you? And so they said they showed her a picture.
Bingo.
And I'm like, of course you were out there.
If they see me out there, they see me out there, dear.
We
And
showed
I
the
told them.
witness a photo of Rich.
I told them I was on the bridge. I went out to the first trestle.
Oh, okay.
That first
I
thing
don't
that.
remember you telling me that. You told me, so I told you weren't on it. But I didn't.
It doesn't, hon, you're not in any trouble. You didn't do anything. I didn't do anything. Huh?
I didn't know you were on it. I'm sorry.
Well, don't worry about it.
You told me you weren't.
Huh?
You told me you weren't, so I just was.
No, I told you that I
Here it
walked.
is. Here it is.
Okay.
I love
This
you,
is what
baby.
got him.
I don't know what they're trying to do, but I know that that's not what I told you. And I love you. And it's just, they're not going to get away with this.
This was
This is exactly what
This was
I
before
would never
he was
want
in
for you.
prison. So
And
he's still sane. The police didn't do anything to him.
there's nothing I can do about it. I'm not going to say I did something I didn't do. I'm not.
Yeah.
And I know you know me. And I know you know that I would never do this. All I can say, hon, is you know me. I know you know me, and I know you. And what they're doing to you right now, I'm not okay with this at all. And they know it, but they're going to do what they're going to do. I'm just sorry you're having to hurt. I'm sorry I'm having to go through it. I mean, it's like I told them, the damage is already done. You've already talked to people I work with, you talk to neighbors of mine, and I care about what people think. You know I care about what people think.
You know.
Hell, I have enough trouble not trying to believe that people think. Half the time I just think they think what I'm thinking. You know what I'm talking about. I'm always worried about what Jory thinks or.
I know.
And they're trying to, talk about my anxiety and depression and shit. And, I've tried to explain to them it's been going on for 7-8 years. Hell, I've had it my whole life. They want me to tell them that I did it. And I'm not going to. I'm not going to admit to something that I didn't do. How stupid is that? I don't care what they do to me. I'm not going to admit to doing something I had nothing to do with.
I see your comments. I understand.
And I'm not going to try to explain something I can't explain because I don't know. You tell me because I don't know. I just know that I never even carried the gun unless we were going mushroom hunting, tromping through the woods, or fishing along the river. That's the only time I even carried it for the most part. I never even would have, hell, I haven't carried my gun and I don't even remember a time when I used to carry it. I mean, other than going fishing, like if we were going night fishing.
But how did the bullet get up there, honey? I can't understand that.
I told you, I can't either, hon. There's two explanations. One is the bullet didn't come from my gun.
It did though, honey. The cut ballistics on it.
I get that. Then it didn't come from a murder scene. I don't know what else to say. I get that. I get what they're saying. What I'm telling you is, if that bullet came from my gun, there's no way it was found with their investigation for the murders. There's no way. I can't explain something I have no answer for. They want you to think that I done it. That's what this is all about. They want you to come in here and make me believe that you think I did it, and I know you don't. You know me too well. You know I'd never do something like this, or even be involved with something like this. So they're probably going to come and take you away from me and go at me again. So, just tell them you want an attorney, and they'll have to let you leave. Don't worry about me. I'm trying to, I don't know what they're doing. Yes, you do. There is no way that evidence is going to show that I did
Right
this.
fucking here, Rick.
You got one piece of evidence
I got
that I can't
multiple
explain.
pieces. Multiple.
I'm not showing you my whole fucking hand here.
I don't.
I'm sorry. That's funny. You got Homer saying, "We got your bullet and everything there and everything," and you got Richard Allen saying, "No, you got nothing." He says, "I got this right here." Oh, well, okay. So you got one piece of evidence against me. You got only one piece of evidence. That's hilarious. Let's listen to that one more time because that's funny.
Yes, you do.
There is no way that evidence is going to show that I did
Right
this.
fucking here, Rick.
You got one piece of evidence
I got
that
multiple
you can't explain.
pieces. Multiple.
Yeah, it
I'm not
says your
showing you my
weapon.
whole fucking
Your
hand
bullet
here.
was
I don't care. I'm
You
telling
should
you, I'm
care.
done
And
talking.
now you're gonna drag your fucking wife and your daughter through this because you're too fucking bullheaded to get out in front of this and admit that you made a mistake. And whatever the fuck happened out there, we'll never fucking know because you're too big of a fucking bullheaded. Go ahead.
So tell you I did something
Tell me
that
the
I
truth.
didn't do.
The truth, Rick. I don't want to know.
I've told you the truth and you don't want to hear it.
The evidence tells me otherwise. The evidence clearly indicates you're involved in this.
No,
I
it
saw this.
doesn't.
It fucking does.
It doesn't. I'm telling you that there is no way that a bullet from my gun was used in these murders.
And I'm telling you that we had this fucking round on February the 14th, 2017. It's been secured in a fucking laboratory. And we've tested other guns
I understand
I'm
what you're
telling her.
saying.
I want her to hear this,
I
Rick.
understand what you're saying. What I'm telling you is I can't explain something I don't understand.
Oh, the scientists
That's not
explained it
possible.
for you. The lab analysis of analysts have explained that for you. They're saying that this round, without a doubt, came from your gun.
Then
And
you've
told me
taken it from somewhere else then. Because it's not possible.
I did not take it from somewhere else. It was loaded in. It was taken as photograph. You think we fucking went and stole your fucking round and threw it down by a fucking dead girl's foot? The same fucking
all right. I'm sorry for laughing, but that was funny. You got no evidence against me. I got this right here. Oh, big deal. You got one proof of evidence against me. That's funny. Oh, you got one piece. Well, it's a piece that they could use, and it could bring you down. If the right people are trying the case or whatever, even though you might not have done it. Well, here's the thing, Mr. Richard Allen. There's a couple ways the bullet got there, either from somewhere else that you were, or someone was in your house and got a bullet, or the police when they were in your house and they held on to it for, I don't know, a couple years or whatever. Maybe they got a bullet, but they didn't have the gun. Right? There's numerous things it could have been. Like one is maybe they were in your house when you called the police because you were going to off yourself or whatever. Someone seen you digging in the backyard and said something was stolen, and all that could have been fake just for them to get up on your property or in the house or whatever. But what they do have is a box of ammo that was at his property that matched the same ammo that was found at the crime scene. So they also have that, and I imagine they have a couple of other things. But here's the bottom line: if it's corruption, then yeah, that's how they got your bullet. The only other thing I can think of, Mr. Richard Allen, is if you committed a crime somewhere else and you left a bullet, and the police collected that bullet from another crime and then used it on this crime, but they knew it wasn't a weapon that killed them in this crime. It was a knife. And would it happen just to be so that when they got to your place, you had tons of guns and all kinds of knives and box cutters and knives and the Amityville Horror House or whatever? I don't know. Maybe it's coincidence. I don't know. But if you're telling me that there's no way that this bullet was found at that crime scene, it must have came from somewhere else. Well, the only other place is if you borrowed it If someone didn't like you and got inside your house, took a bullet, because that's all they really need is a bullet that's been either fired or extracted, because a lot of people know that it's a proven fact that's what they use to solve crimes. So, how long did this person have that bullet? Who knows? Was it the police? I don't know. Disgruntled cop? Maybe. Or it just could be the fact that maybe for some reason the bullet was his calling card. He didn't have his gun that day. There's no way it came from my gun. I didn't have my gun that day, but I did have a bullet. Well, where did that bullet come? Well, I ejected it at my house, brought it with me. That might have been his calling card. They might have other bullets at other crime scenes that they just couldn't, they didn't have the weapon. Numerous things. I'm sorry, I found it hilarious when they said, when Richard said, "You got nothing." And Holman said, "I got this right here." And then Alan saying, "Well, you got one piece of evidence against me." I'm sorry, that was funny. All right, we'll return to this case. I got to run to the gas station. It's getting cloudy. I think it either is going to snow today or rain. It's a little bit warmer. I think it's 40 today or 42. And I think here in a couple days it's supposed to get back up to the high 50s and 60s. So I got some yard work I'm going to be doing for a couple people, my mother and another lady and a gentleman that are same age as my mother. So I got to prepare myself and psych myself up to get off of this couch and at least make a couple quid. But yeah, there you go. He's making a lot of mistakes in his thing, and we knew that the police are on the right trail, and they know that they have every right to think that there's more than one. And it's obvious these people didn't know the situation in Delphi or Indiana itself as a whole at the time or before the murders. So, do I think that they're off track by saying, "Are you the mastermind?" Or "Did you do this for someone else?" The police might know something that we don't know. And they wouldn't have thrown that out there. Either they were giving him a chance to come clean, right? They had his weapon, and they were telling Richard, "Here's your chance," right? If somebody else is the mastermind or involved in this, there's your chance to tell him. And I do believe they gave him a chance for him to come clean. But if he belongs to this crew, this thing, this military or whatever, he's trained, you don't rat on your brothers. You don't, you know, what happens on the street, you don't. It could be something like that. We don't know. Only time will tell. If Richard Allen is the killer, the guilt will come out on his mind, and he'll eventually talk to somebody, right? Eventually, either a psychologist or whatever, he's gonna eventually talk about it. Just like Keegan Klein, once they, and the rest of them, Kurtz, and so many other of them, eventually it all comes out. Now, I want you folks to have a great day. Was there a chance for Richard Allen to be set up? Well, yes. No, I don't care what the conspiracy people, "Oh, you're a conspiracy guy." No, I'm seeing open windows here where, yes, he could have been set up. But now his story is not adding up. And that weighs on, could he have been set up? Is a corruption with police, rogue police, whatever, them wrapped up? Or is it uh, he made a mistake on this crime? And he might be involved in the other crimes. The 28 or 30 something people that were missing down there came up dead or strangled or whatever. Maybe, we don't know. And that's true. The police might have more evidence that we would never even know. Why? Because they've been investigating Delphi for a while. there was other crimes committed in this country that led back to Delphi. And that's interesting. Now, you folks have a great day. I'll be back. I got to go get a pack of smokes and pick up around here. I got some laundry to do today, dude. I'm still looking for that spider. I haven't seen him, Debbie. I don't know. He probably sucked the life out of me as I was sleeping last night. Probably a ghost myself. Probably cocooned. No, you folks have a great night. God bless. All glory goes to God. Thanks for another day, Lord. Forgive us for our sins. Amen. Debbie, you're looking incredible. Boy, you were looking incredible last night. You're making some guy really frisky out there. You were looking great this morning, too. Unreal. Got it going on. Amen. 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 Driving all of them crazy. Amen. It's incredible this morning. But, that's just me. Now, check your ears. I did. I checked them. There ain't nothing in there. There's nothing in this head. It's hollow. Listen. It's my brain. It's rattling around in there. I'm still alive. You folks have a good day. God bless.